Back in the day, mowers were all powered by petrol engines. Then along came the first AC electric models, but they had some pretty significant drawbacks, the cord being the big one. Early battery models weren't very practical either. They didn't have much grunt and they didn't run long enough. But now battery technology has advanced to the point where battery mowers can perform as well as their petrol-powered cousins. But which is best for you? Well, like most things, it depends. First, let's look at the benefits and advantages of petrol mowers. Just like motorbikes, they're available in different cc ratings. Generally, the higher the cc's, the more powerful the engine, and also the longer the mower's effective run time. So for a smaller lawn, a smaller engine will do. And as the lawn size and the workload increases, you'll want to use a bigger power plant. Some manufacturers use two-stroke engines, which require premixing fuel and oil. This is a fiddly process, and two-strokes also tend to be noisier and smellier than four-strokes. They're also not usually as powerful. Honda petrol mowers are exclusively four-stroke for all those reasons, and they're also fairly legendary engines, proven and refined and engineered for smooth power delivery and loads of torque. They just go and go. All Honda petrol models feature a one-pull decompression system for easy starting, and the cord is placed higher up for better ergonomics. So you pull the cord, not a muscle. Honda four-strokes are also comparatively quiet and produce lower emissions than many other brands. Petrol engines are ideal for mowing large lawns or for commercial contractors who are going to be working them all day. They can keep going for as long as there's petrol to fuel them and a little bit of oil on hand to keep the moving parts happy. Unlike with batteries, there's no recharging downtime. Some petrol models are self-propelled, and these are especially good for mowing up sloping lawns, for covering large areas, or for when you're going to be mowing most of the day. It just makes the job a little easier and less sweaty. But then some battery models are also self-propelled. We'll look more closely at self-propulsion a little later. It's always important to look after equipment, and petrol mowers are no exception. As well as fuel, they need regular top-ups of engine oil, and they should be kept regularly serviced to keep them running smoothly and safely to ensure a long operating life. You can do this maintenance yourself, getting parts when you need them from your Honda Outdoors dealer, or get them to do the service and tune-ups for you. Now let's look at the benefits and advantages of battery mowers. First, convenience. Battery mowers are always ready to go, straight out of the shed, so long as you've remembered to recharge the battery. There's no priming or refueling, just push the go button and you're off. They tend to be lighter than petrol mowers, if that's important to you. They're also noticeably quieter, produce zero emissions, and they're cheaper to run. Battery tech has come a long way in a short time, and now some battery mowers are just as powerful as petrol models. The electric power equation itself is a little bit complicated. It's volt times amps equals watts, and that figure can vary from mower to mower. But the most important power spec for batteries themselves is their capacity, and this is measured in amp hours. Mowing is a high drain activity, but the higher the amp hours, the more juice you've got. All Honda battery Izion mowers use the same 36 volt battery with a range of capacities. The 6 amp hour lithium battery on this Honda Izion is good for about 55 minutes of regular mowing. Of course, runtime isn't an issue if you have a backup battery or two, so you can be using one while the other is recharging. Some battery mowers, especially at the cheaper end, can have a tendency to run hot. Honda battery models have very effective cooling tech built in, a bit like your laptop, but not as annoying. This allows for continuous use without overheating. It also keeps batteries cool when fast charging. Another feature of Honda mowers is their universal battery. Not only does it power the mower, you can also use it on other Honda battery equipment, like your hedge trimmer or your blower. Battery mowers don't need the same sort of maintenance petrol mowers do. Just keep them clean and dry and they'll be perfectly happy. You'll have to replace the batteries now and again, but generally you can expect years of work out of a battery if you treat it well. Self-propulsion is also a feature of many battery-powered mowers. It makes the job easier, but it will have an impact on the overall battery runtime. For some, a good battery mower is going to be all they need. For others, a petrol mower will totally tick the boxes, especially for those larger lawns. That's why Honda makes both. It's really over to you. The grass won't care. If you need some help deciding, come into a Honda Outdoors store and talk through the options with a lawnmower expert.